Hey, today we're reading Shinzen Young, The Happiness Grid. Wow, what does it even mean, the happiness grid? Mindful awareness is a certain way to pay attention to what is happening around you and within you. It involves three attentional skills working together. That's concentration power, the ability to focus on what you choose, sensory clarity, the ability to track and explore your sensory experience in real time, and equanimity, the ability to allow sensory experiences to come and go without any push or pull. Sensory experience is what you see, hear, feel, whether active or restful. This includes inner activity or inner rest, mental images, mental talk, emotional body sensations, and their restful counterparts, as well as outer activity and rest, physical sight, physical sounds, physical body sensations, and their restful counterparts. Smell and taste can be considered a physical body sensation. All these things are things that are felt. A little bit not super clear in that department, but that's okay. Noting is one way to develop mindful awareness by clearly acknowledging the existence of sensory experiences, then gently, intently focusing on them at a pace that works for you. Labeling is an option that can be used when noting. Labels are mental or spoken words that name a specific sensory experience you are focusing on in the moment. The goal of mindfulness is optimal happiness, for oneself and others. The goal of mindfulness is happiness. Optimal happiness. The happiness grid classifies happiness into two basic axes: type, which includes qualitative distinctions of happiness, and level, which are quantitative distinctions, but not intensity levels. They represent the degrees in which a certain type of happiness is obvious to the average person. Interesting. May not be more intense, but more obvious. Interesting. What am I reading? The happiness grid. Something about happiness. Being more specific about happiness. The analogy of the periodic table of chemical elements is quite strong. There are 5 types of each type, and they each have 4 levels, which results in 20 boxes. Each of the 20 boxes contains numerous subtypes, which are roughly analogous to isotopes. Wow. The purpose of this classification is to highlight both the power and limitations of mindfulness skills. With respect to each basic element, it is possible to clearly state a mechanism whereby concentration power, sensory clarity, and equanimity individually contribute to optimizing that element of happiness. Also, to state ways in which mindfulness may be insufficient to achieve happiness with regards to the element. And finally, suggest the ways in which mindfulness skills can be supplemented in order to achieve some optimization in regards to a particular element. So according to Shinzen Young, the goal of mindfulness is optimal happiness. He's laid out a universal library for all contemplative techniques, and this is, I guess, a map of all of the possible goals. Periodic table of happiness. People familiar with positive psychology might initially be surprised when they notice that certain dimensions of happiness that they hold near and dear, such as meaning and self-actualization and communal connection and so forth, do not appear on this grid. Oh wow, meaning doesn't matter? Self-actualization is not here? Whoa, weird. That, however, is an optical illusion. Magic. They're absolutely included, but the subjects or combinations as subsets or combinations of basic elements. The reason is that the table is designed for a very specific purpose: to elucidate the power and limitations of mindfulness and all the techniques in regards to optimizing human happiness. The practical goal influences what is shown in the fundamental dimensions versus what is placed in the subcategories. Okay. So we've got 5 types and 4 levels. Let's try to get a good overview of this. Okay. I'm sure you guys can read that, but I can't read it. My computer's a little bit too far away. So types. We've got relief. That's a type. One of the types of happiness is relief. Makes sense. Fulfillment, wisdom, mastery, and service. Again, relief meaning to minimize suffering. That's a type of happiness. Fulfillment, to maximize satisfaction. Another type of happiness. Wisdom is to understand yourself. Mastery is to act skillfully. And service is to serve from love. Oh. And then levels are not named, but there are 4 of them. Interesting. I want to go down through the types, all the levels. So relief, you can minimize your suffering. And there are 4 levels. Again, these levels are not intensity level. They're levels of obviousness. I'm guessing level 1 is the most obvious and level 4 is the most subtle, but obvious for a typical person. So you're able to eliminate undesirable objective situations. That's first level of relief. You're able to eliminate unpleasant sensory experiences. That's level 2 of relief, which would be less obvious, I think. Yep. You're able to focus away from unpleasant sensory experiences, even less obvious. And you are able to completely experience unpleasant sensory experiences. Did you catch that? You are able to completely experience unpleasant experiences. Experience them completely. Interesting. So of course, if you're mindful, or if you're doing meditation, the meditation isn't really going to do anything for your situation. It's not going to change your situation. So I think that's one of the limitations that he wants to point out and make sure it's obvious that what limitations and what things are, where the strengths are. But that's the most obvious level of relief would be changing your situation. And you can't really do that by meditating. You can change. Can you change what you are sensing? No, you can't change what you're sensing with meditation either. It's another limitation. These are the most 2 obvious ways of relieving yourself. Another way would be to not focus on the unpleasant things. So if you have unpleasant sensory experiences, don't focus on them. Now, you can train that very easily. Meditation. And the most subtle level here would be you can completely experience an unpleasant sensory experience. So you can experience every aspect of it. And you'll find it's not so unpleasant. Interesting. Fulfillment. You're able to have, on level 1, you're able to have the desired objective situations. So you want something, you get it. You want it, you get it. Easy. I guess that's the type of happiness, yeah. You're able to have pleasant sensory experiences. Okay, also pretty cool, pretty chill. You're able to focus on pleasant sensory experiences. Oh, now that's a special one. Level 3, I'm liking level 3 on all these, or at least these 2. Level 3, I like this. You're able to focus on pleasant sensory experiences. When you have a pleasant sensory experience, you can focus on it. Difficult skill, easy to train. And you are able to completely experience a pleasant sensory experience. That's the most subtle level, level 4. Again, quite based. And wisdom, or type of wisdom. Level 1 of wisdom, the most gross, most obvious form, I'll say. I don't want to say gross. The most obvious expression of what wisdom is. You understand yourself at the surface psychological level. I love how psychological is surface level. You understand yourself at the surface level. Psychology. That's the most obvious level here. So you've done your Myers-Briggs test, I guess. You sort of basically understand what you're doing, and what you're thinking, and what you're feeling. Level 2, you understand on a deeper level. Oh, okay. Got some real assessments going on here. You really contemplated, you really thought about it. Wisdom, understanding yourself on a deeper psychological level. You understand yourself as a sensory system. Level 3. Interesting. You are a system of sensations arising and passing. And then you understand yourself on the most subtle level as primordial perfection. You're already perfect. Wow. Maybe you know that, but do you know that? Wow. These are the types of happiness and the wisdom type, and very, very, very subtle level here. And of course, in all of these, you can get higher intensity. The level does not refer to intensity. It just refers to there's a qualitative difference in the understanding in our cultural context from these different levels. So level 1 is the most obvious, and level 4 is the most subtle. Mastery. Okay. Skillful actions here. You attain some fun performance skills. I like that one. And then you attain useful performance skills. Interesting. So this is where I'm at with like playing piano. I can play piano for fun. It's a lot of fun. I like it. Useful. I don't know about that. Not sure about that. Level 2 though. Level 3, you attain character skills. I don't even know what that means. Character skills. And then level 4, you attain spontaneity skills. I have no idea what character skills is. I do know what spontaneity skills are. I like this. I'm guessing to act skillfully, you want to attain the spontaneity skills and then hopefully have that abstract it to other things. Interesting. 4 levels there. And finally, in service, level 1 of service, serving to serve people with love or from love. Not driven by fear, driven by love. Wouldn't that be cool? You derive a deep fulfillment from indirect service. Okay, sending money to some foundation or whatever, philanthropy. You derive, that's level 1. Level 2, you derive a deep fulfillment from direct service. Okay, raising your own family, volunteer work, maybe having a pet, I don't know. Does raising plants count? Not entirely sure. But you know, direct service. You're actually doing something directly, helping people immediately. Volunteering and stuff. I've never liked volunteering. I've never liked philanthropy either. Interesting. You derive a deep fulfillment, this is level 3, deep fulfillment from subtle service. Okay. Subtle service. Positively influencing others by vibe. Whoa. Vibe check. Hey. I like this one. So you're just being chill, you're being cool, you're being happy, and you watch it rub off on other people, and it makes you feel even cooler and happier and chiller. Wow. Level 3. Subtle. And the most subtle, you derive deep fulfillment from total service. Wow. That means helping others apply mindful skills at all types of levels in the happiness table. Oh, wow. Total service to help in all of these aspects, everything else. I'm guessing there aren't too many people who do this total service. Shinzen Young would be one of them because he's doing that for us now. So being a meditation teacher or something of that nature. I guess it doesn't have to be meditation necessarily, but some sort of like actual teacher for somebody. And I'm guessing this could very much go into the direct service of raising a family, but more specifically working with one person totally. All aspects. Interesting. I guess this is pretty dope. We can all learn what part of happiness that we like most and work on that first and then branch out from there. Okay.